Hello everyone. Today in this live we're gonna talk about finding directions in life, and I have a very dear friend who's coming to join us. Is a very professional person in this area, Alejandro Ortiz. He is a professional life coach and he is a founder and CEO of the Alejandro Ortiz Consulting. Without any further ado, I'm gonna ask Alejandro to join us in this conversation, waiting for Alejandro to send me a request. This is definitely indeed one of the most challenging request, Alejandro. If you can accept that, we'll see you shortly. Yep. And this live is going to be in English because Alejandro obviously can't speak Persian. I hope you all understand. I know that as you're all on the process of immigration or you already immigrated, you definitely have a good level of English and you will get what we're talking about. I'm gonna send some summary of this live in Persian in future as well. I don't know why, what is the technical issue with that. Alejandro, if you can please accept the invitation I sent you. It's saying that you're unable to join. Let me see. What's the problem? Oh, hi. It's working.
Yep.
Hi, Alejandro. Welcome to my live.
Nadia, thank you very
Thanks
much for
this
invitation. I'm very happy for the way actually, and thank you because you are allowing me to be part of your community, which is great. I do know that you've made a very good impact on your community, which is great. So I'm very happy to be here and to share this very nice.
Thank you. My pleasure, my pleasure. Alejandro, please introduce yourself to my followers. I know you really well because we studied together in a globalization program at Macquarie University. I had this pleasure to be in a same class with you, but please introduce yourself to my
Thank you, Nadia. So, well, my name is Alejandro Ortiz, as Nadia said. I'm Colombian originally, right? And I've been living here in Australia since April 2018. After finishing my course, where I was able to meet Nadia, by the way, just right at the end in 2020, I launched my business, which is called Alejandro Ortiz Consulting, providing services to professionals and entrepreneurs who are really keen to give a clear direction to their lives. So either they want to have a clear direction at a personal, professional, or business level, I'm the one to be in contact with. So yeah, that's pretty much about me, Nadia.
Well, I'm always following you on LinkedIn and I see all the different stages of life and all your accomplishment. I'm very proud to be in the same class with you at one point in time. Alejandro, before we jump into the conversation, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to turn off the commenting so it doesn't actually distract us. But if anyone have any questions, you can all drop it to the question box that has this kind of feature that Instagram is providing us. So I'm going to turn off the comments. Sorry about everyone. If you have any questions, just drop it in the question box, please. Turning off the commenting. So, Alejandro, one of the big challenges in life is finding direction. Like, you see, when we go to school, we know that, okay, our parents put our name under a specific school. We go, we know, wake up, go to school, come back, do our assignment, and it's done. But after graduation, selecting the correct degree to go to study, and then after graduating from that, life starts, like life begins, and we don't know what to do in this life because we have lots of options. Before that, we didn't have that many options given to us. Now we have the sky's limit and we have plenty of options to choose from. And this is where we all struggle to find which direction to choose.
Well,
tell us about
what you said is totally right.
What should we do?
End, of course, we go to school. Sometimes we just study something, even at university, that our parents told us to study, or even the society is really pushing us to be studying something because that gives us money, or because it's on demand, or because maybe the industry is requiring, engineers or doctors or nurses, whatever, which is good. But asking us the question about what we want, it's something that maybe we were not taught when we were kids, right? So that's why we try to follow the trends. We try to follow other people's behaviors or other people's lifestyles, right? And when we do that, that is very common, we might have some sort of glimpses of happiness in the run. But in the end, when we analyze the whole journey, sometimes we're not that happy. Sometimes we are not fulfilled. And we keep on asking ourselves why I just feel like that, a bit lost, right? I can go to have a drink and it's good, but then I just go home and I feel that something is missing. Or I can go on a trip, right? 1 week, 3 weeks, or maybe 1 month, and it's great. But then I'm back and I feel that I'm not fulfilled. Why, right? Why this happens? And the thing is that, Nadia, one of the things that I do to start with a process of coaching is the genius. Finding the genius, right? And the answers leads on finding the genius. So I'm going to give you an example. For example, Nadia, please tell me what's your favorite fruit? Mango.
That's a difficult question.
So, and when I ask you,
mango?
Well, when you said mango, why do you think mango is the best fruit?
Because it's sweet, it's yum. I never get enough of it. And yeah. And it always comes in the weather that I like it. Like I like hot tropical weather, and mango is for that weather. So I think it associates with the nice weather.
Well,
in my
the
brain
way
as well.
you
That's
really
why I
like
like
mango is
more.
because when you eat mango, there's something on the inside that connects with the fruit, right? So that connection, it's part of
Yes. Sorry, what? I missed
okay.
I missed
That
you.
is
You
called
disconnected
that
for
will
a second.
give you
That's called
a
what?
clue of what the connection with the fruit that you have. So for let's say when you have when you eat a mango, right? The mango gives you some sort of happiness or fulfillment, or you feel, oh my God, that was amazing because of the connection with the fruit, right? There's something with the fruit that feels good.
Yeah.
Maybe with another person will be maybe the watermelon, or maybe will be the pineapple. Is different. And the reason why the other people like other fruits is because the connection with the fruit is different, right? I'm telling you this, Nadia, because in the end, it's important to understand why we like certain fruits and why we hate other fruits. If we hate some fruits, right? When we discover that connection, that gives us a clue, right? So when you discover the fruit, you plant a seed of, for example, mango on the grass, and then the tree grows. Exactly. Right? So you will get a mango tree.
We get mango.
And then you will be able to produce only mangoes. So your mango tree, which is your genius, will be, of course, producing mangoes to whoever comes to the tree. So in the end, having genius defined is basically understanding what's your fruit, what's your seed, right? So you came to this produce a fruit, to produce something that is going to be consistent over time, right? So the question here is how to identify that seed, right? Which is not that easy sometimes. So the struggle comes to helping people understand how to identify that seed. So the example with the fruits was just an example, right? Just to let you know that in the end, people identify with fruits differently. the same way we have different genius. Okay? So the thing is, Nadia, what is really important is that, okay, so I really want to find my genius. Okay, I really want to find my genius. So when I'm in a coaching process with a client, they can tell me, I studied, engineering or psychology or marketing or whatever, right? I ask questions. Is, for example, please let me know, what do you do when you are at home? And they tell me, Alejandro, I do like organizing things. I do like cleaning. I do like thinking or singing. So when somebody, for example, tells that they like organizing, cleaning, putting everything, very tidy, right? That's part of the things that comes from within. So maybe the person will be very good at organizing things or making things in a very structured way. That's part of the genius, right? For example, let's say, so for somebody who was studying, for example, marketing, right? Some people love the creativity. So they like creating, right? Coming up with different campaigns and ideas. But some of the people like the research behind the marketing, right? The market research. But some other people like really the part that is connected to sales. So when somebody tells me I like numbers, the market research behind marketing, that's also part of your genius. So you told me that you like organizing and making things tidy when you are at home. But then when you are working, you do like working with research, with numbers. So you combine those features into one basket, and that's part of your genius. But then the person tells me, Alejandro, when I'm in a relationship, I prefer to lead. I prefer to lead. I don't want to be led. To lead. And I prefer to give orders, right? Because I'm very... So when you combine those three things, so organizing things, working with market research, and thirdly, leading, that person will be very good at leading projects in a very structured way based on data.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But the main question that comes to my mind now is like, what's the most common challenge that people face to find their direction? Because, for example, we know what we like. Maybe we know a few things that we like or we're good at. But what is the main challenge
that people do like a lot of things at the same time? People do like, doing, I do like sport, I do like painting, I do like singing, right? But then the thing is, there's no connection with the inner self, right? So in that case, sometimes we need to go back to childhood to understand the way we were when we were kids, because we were very natural. We were acting with our natural self when we were kids. So sometimes having a talk with your mom, with your dad, will give you a clue of the way you were when you were a kid, because that's your natural self. So the challenge here for people is understanding, okay, Alejandro, I do like many things, but what is my genius? I do like many things, right? We cannot be painting and working as engineers and at the same time swimming. It's very hard. So it's important to identify that main talent, and then you shape it to convert it into your genius. So the main challenge, Nadia, is deciding what talent is going to be your genius. And the way to choose it, Nadia, of course, people require a mentor most of the time, and it's trying to find the connection, the genuine connection, especially when they were kids, because that will give you a clue of your genuine talent when you were born.
Well, that's very, very good. Well said. I think it's like we already have a clue on how to look for the direction. Another thing that comes to my mind is like, okay, let's say I like many things. Many people are like that, same thing that you mentioned. And why don't we just go for everything? Why is
because
important
that's a very
to have a
important
clear
question,
direction?
Thanks for asking that, by the way, because in the end, is that when you have a farm, right? Let's say you're going to be planting mangoes. Maybe the weather conditions for the farm will be great because, let's say, the farm is located, in North Australia, which is the perfect weather for, to cultivate mangoes, right? But then the owner of the farm also wants to cultivate strawberries and also wants watermelon, and also the person wants also blueberries, right? And also mint and herbs, right? At the same time. But we cannot do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing if you're in Australia, you can have it all.
It all depends on the weather conditions, the quality of the soil, the quality of the place, the altitude, many things. In the end, if you want to be very good at something, it's important to choose which is going to be the fruit that's going to be the perfect fit for those weather conditions. When you analyze, you say, okay, yes, I do like watermelons, but you know what? It's not the perfect fit for this weather because of 1, 2, 3 variables. So I prefer to cultivate mango because it's the perfect fit. So when you specialize on mangoes and you did a very good analysis, then you discover, why? I'm going to be the best in the region cultivating mangoes. And then you have a brand, a personal brand, because you were able to do a very good assessment. So you will be the best at something. So finding direction, genius, Nadia is trying to understand your genius to be the best at something. And when somebody considers the best at something, they find identity. They find fulfillment. Oh my God, I discovered something I'm very good at. Even though I do like many things, I discovered that main talent. That's why I keep on, giving the example with the fruits, because it's very easy to understand the importance of choosing that one thing that we are very good at.
Sometimes in life, some of us feel like we found our genius and we just are on the right path, but along the way we start questioning ourselves, am I doing things right? Am I on the right track? So the question here is, what are the good signs that indicates a person is on the right track in their life?
Perfect. And
how do we know we are going to the right
from
direction?
nature about this? And Nadia, when you look at nature, in nature, everything flows smoothly, right? So for example, let's say, if you're going to be seeing a fish is completely, swimming over the river without any complication, because it's natural for the fish to be swimming by the river. But if you put the fish to be flying through the skies, it won't be possible because it's not natural. The same thing, a flower can bloom when being on the ground, but then you put the same flower to be blooming inside the sea or the river, it won't be possible because it's not natural. So a good sign when somebody is in the right direction, right, is when it's natural, when it's effortless. I can do painting and it's natural. I can do it and I do it very well. Exactly. Sometimes, for example, somebody wants to be, a public speaker, but the person maybe is not ready for that. And the person is trying, but it's not natural, right? And then maybe the person discovers that maybe the person will be very good at doing something different. So when you try and you cannot do it, sometimes it's not the way. So the first clue for a person to be able to understand if I'm going in the right direction is because it's effortless. It flows naturally, right? That's the first sign. The second sign, Nadia, is when you feel happiness. So, for example, we are doing this live. And because in the end, I mean, we do share something, Nadia. We do like to influence people. We do like to make a positive impact on others. We do enjoy this. We do enjoy this. When we do enjoy things, we are on the right direction because there's enjoyment and it's natural. And we do it effortless. So the second variable. And the third variable is the level of anxiety. When we are anxious about something, maybe it's not the way. Maybe it's not the way. Maybe we're trying something that is not in the right direction. When you're doing something that is according to your genius, there's no anxiety because it's natural, right? So the level will tell you if you are doing the right thing or not. Yeah. So once again, 3 factors to be able to identify if you are on the right direction. First of all, that is natural, effortless. The second one is that you are feeling enjoyment, happiness, right, through doing that thing. And thirdly is that you are not anxious. When you take into account those 3 factors, is because you are on the right direction.
I feel like one thing that is important to be mentioned and considered here is some of the stuff in life you need to work hard for it. Like most of the good, they say nothing good comes easy, right? You need to put so much effort and hard work on it. But the main thing is to enjoy the process. If you are enjoying that hard work, it means it's on the right path. But if you are just in a path that doesn't need any effort, obviously it doesn't go to a very good direction too. Like, cause I mean, I learned this in life. Nothing good comes easy. So I guess it's important not to confuse being hard and being challenging.
And you made a very good point here,
having anxiety along the way.
For example, let's talk about something that is very common when it comes to assessing people. Some of my clients is that they come to me to ask for advice in relationships, right? So for example, somebody is someone, right? As you said, Nadia, we need to put effort. Mm-hmm. So we go on a first date and it went really well. We second date, on a third date. So we're putting effort because we are texting the person, we are getting dressed up for our dates, we are calling the person, we are making plans, we are being committed to be on a date with them. But the thing is that we put effort, and I agree with you. Yes. The thing is that when you see that the other person is not responding to your effort, and even though you try and you try and you try, but it's not going to anywhere, that is not natural. That's what I mean. So you put effort. Exactly. So of course we need to be putting effort when we want things, right? Yeah. And it's important to work towards what we want. But when we find any obstacles, it's not the right way. It's not the right thing to do because, again, it's not natural. So, of course, a fish needs to put a lot of effort to swim. But then, when the fish is just trying to fly over the skies, it's not natural. So the same thing with same thing with a job that we're doing, the same thing with living in a foreign country. If we put effort, but after so much effort, we find so many obstacles, it's not the right way. So of course it's effort and balancing the effort with the obstacle and trying to find direction when combining those two.
Yeah. Another thing also is like the story of bamboo. I always make this example, and I even have a post about it, that you need to plant a bamboo and water it for a long time, and there's no sign of any growth. And after like a very, very long time, I don't remember exactly how many days or how many months, but it will grow exponentially all of a sudden very quickly. So also the same thing goes with immigration or studying a PhD degree or master degree or having a higher education. It takes so much effort and patience and hard work, but at the end you're going to get the result if you're in the right way and going to enjoy the fruit of it. But another thing is, like, how about going to different work? Let's say if you have a job, you find a job. For example, my job is marketing management, right? Every day I go to my work and I feel, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been born to do, and enjoy doing it from morning to night, right? I can even continue working when the day is over, but like I have to leave too. So I have to shut my laptop and go home. But the thing is, sometimes I also get so much stress along the way. I have to deal with so many tasks. It's never ending, and I always have to plan ahead. I always have to be responsible for all those things. It's not an easy job to do, but I'm enjoying it at the same time. So it's, again, backing back to the point. So my point of saying all these things is, once things get a little bit difficult, do not question the direction. Maybe you're in the right direction. It's just the difficulty. But how do we know it is just the difficulty, or it's we are in the
so
we are
I'm
trying
going to give you an
we are a
example
fish
for
that
this.
who
So for
tries
example,
to
let's
fly.
say we have a dog, right? And both the dog being completely a baby, right? So we are going to teach the dog to be eating at certain place, right? So the trying to, of course, it's begging for food every time we are eating on the table, right? So we're teaching the dog to be eating just in the corner where his or her bed is located, in the house it's located, right? But of course, at the very beginning will be, of course, a lot of effort to teach the dog to be able to eat over there, right? Over time, with some rewards, like cookies, for example, the dog will be used to their new place, right? So the same thing happens with human beings. Sometimes we find so many difficulties to get used to something, right? But when we see the reward after doing minor things, maybe it's the right way, right? Maybe it's the right way. It's causing so much pain and effort, but I'm getting rewards. So because I'm getting rewards, that's the right way. So for example, being in the workplace, I joined a company, I have a new job, it's very challenging. But for example, I was able to close a deal after 2 weeks. Oh, wow, that's a reward. The next couple of weeks, I will be dealing with, I don't know, maybe market research, and I was not able to find the right numbers or the right percentage. Was, oh my God. But then I was talking to the accountant, and we were able to identify the root cause. Wow, good. So that's a reward. So much effort behind, but there's a reward. My point with this, Nat, is that when we see the reward after the effort put, is because so it's combined effort with obstacles. But on the other hand, if we put a lot of effort and we don't see rewards after so much time, maybe that's not the way. So that's why it should be natural, but we need to be putting effort as well.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, exactly. Well, let's say we find the seed, we find the direction, we know we want to grow, and we want to get there. How do we plan for it? What different kind of setting goals and planning do you usually recommend and work for yourself personally?
Part of the process to be having direction is setting goals, right? So we need to set goals to be able to achieve that goal later, right? For example, let's say somebody from the audience wants to be running a half marathon, right? So I need to say that goal, right? I will like completing 21K.
That's exactly my goal, yeah.
In my life, 21K running. How will I do that? I don't know, but I want that. Okay, so we set, okay, and then once we set the goal, we need to ask ourselves, how do I feel with this? Am I doing this for me, or am I doing this because I'm competing with someone else, or because my mother told me to do that, or because of the society? No, we need to find a connection with the goal. Okay, when the goal, desire, comes from within, it's a good goal. It's a good goal. It's a good that comes with your genius, which is great. So let's say we want to be running a half marathon, which is 21K. So the goal is set. After that, make a plan, which is the second stage. Make a plan, write a plan, right? So for example, let's say I'm going to be downloading an app that is especially for runners to get advice about the training plan. So how many I need to be running per week to be able to achieve that goal in maybe 1 month or maybe 2 months. The third goal is be consistent. So we need to be consistent with the training plan. If I'm going to be running 5K 3 times a week, I need to be consistent with running 5K 3 times a week in a very consistent way during those couple of months plan that I just scheduled. And the fourth thing is having the willingness, which is sometimes it sounds easy, but having the willingness is something that sometimes we lose throughout the journey because we just lose it. No, we need to have willingness. What is the reward after getting to the final line? What will be my medal? What is going to be my prize? And when you stick to that prize, it's easier to stick to the routine, right? So having the will support variable to be able to achieve your goals.
Yeah, that's very, yeah, I think you just made me think with saying all that. And I think it's the main thing is to have the answer for why. Why are you doing this? Why this is your goal? And once you get the response for that question, that's all you need to be the momentum, to be the force to the wheel, and go forward.
You put it in different words
when things get harder.
Asking yourself why. And sometimes you need to be asking yourself 5 whys. So I'm going to do this because I want to achieve a personal goal. Okay, why this goal? Well, I want that because I really want to be improving my physical health. Why do you want to improve your physical health? Well, because I'm overweight. Why weight? Not because I'm not really sticking to a diet plan. Why do you don't stick to a diet plan? Okay, well, because I don't have time management skills, or because I'm not very structured. So in the end, when you give yourself those whys, you will be able to understand the root cause that should be assessed. So we need to be working with the person on time management, structures, schedules, so that the person.
Such an interesting method, like we can, 5 whys. So we can even go more than 5.
Of course, you will be able to understand many things about yourself. Yeah. But sometimes we need more than 5. That's why, Nadia, when people start a coaching program with me, for example, sometimes that take more than 3, 4, 5 sessions because everybody's different. Everybody's different. Some people can just be ready after the first session. Some people might take more than 1 session. So yes, sometimes it's more than 5 whys. But it's important that the why, the answer of the why is genuine, comes from within, right? Because when it comes from within, it's natural. And when it's natural, you do enjoy it. It's going to be easy for you to achieve it.
That's interesting. Well, when we were talking, I just came up with this next hot topic that we talk about is that, like, you see, I'm coming from Iran, and Iran is the society that usually parents and family are very encouraging for students, like for their children to become doctors or engineers, like, and it's kind of encouragement, the kind of encouragement that's very close to forcing children to be an engineer or a doctor in future. And many people are forced to complete a degree just to fit into the picture of the society and whatever their parents want them to be. But the question here is, how do you find the encouragement if you realize along the way that you are going through a very wrong direction and changing it all together and going to the right one? How do we encourage ourselves
I can be the example,
to make that hard
by the way, because
decision?
For example, back in
Me too.
We are engineers.
Engineers.
We are examples.
We become marketers and business.
We were about this before when we just met in person. And the thing is, Nadia, yes, I myself an industrial engineer, and you are a mechanical engineer, right? And we were encouraged in the past to be studying that career because it was a very good career in our countries, because of the money we're going to be receiving after graduation, or because of the industry, many things. And being honest, I was happy doing engineering when I was younger. But then over time, you improve your consciousness, your awareness, and you say, okay, I can do this, but I'm not finding fulfillment. So not finding fulfillment is the first clue for you to realize, am I doing the right thing? You wonder, maybe it's not the right thing. What can I do? Right? So when you realize that you're not finding fulfillment when doing something that you studied for, that's the first question you might ask yourself to start a self-awareness process. And then, as I said, once you start asking yourself about this, finding that seed will be the end goal. Finding the seed. Okay, I studied engineering, which means I was told I need to plant watermelons because watermelons are going to be sold, at a very expensive price, right? So we can make money out of planting watermelons. Yes, I'm making money, which is great, but do I enjoy eating watermelons and having watermelon juice or having watermelon ice cream? Yeah, but I've been doing this for 20 years and I don't feel fulfillment. So then you start analyzing other fruits and then you discover mango, right? And when you discover mango, okay, mango is the right way. So in the end, if you studied engineering or somebody from the audience studied to be a doctor or to be a nurse or to be an artist, it's fine because you developed some skills that you can implement in your new direction. So for example, for us being engineers, we can be very structured, we can plan our agendas, we have that logical, analytical mindset, and we can use it to be able to run our new business and to find the right direction. So we never lose time if we studied something different. We can use it for achieving our new personal goals.
That's very important. And also at the end of the day, if you're happy within yourself, you project the same feeling outside and people will get that feeling from you. So if you're on the right way, you're doing what you like to do, and you're enjoying it, what you're doing, people will see it and feel it, and everyone will encourage
exactly, you are right.
And
because
when
there's
they see
another
that you're
law
in the right
of
way.
nature. It is the way it is inside, it is outside, right? If you see a mango tree, you can tell that the mango on the inside, yes, the mango tree on the inside has the ingredients to be producing mangoes, right? You cannot fake the outside with the inside. The same thing happens with the human beings, right? Whatever it is inside will be reflected on the outside. So when the outside is happiness, is enjoyment, is flexibility, is honesty, so many values, so many variables, you can tell that the person is doing well on the inside. So when we are doing well on the inside, that's another sign. Another sign. Maybe it's not the way. We're doing something that is not aligned to our genius. So we need to be starting maybe a coaching process, or we need to be discovering another way, because the inside will tell you many things about yourself to work on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's so important to have a good research on every aspects of different jobs, because I feel like we sometimes select the wrong direction because lack of information, because we don't know about other ways or other pathways in life. So I don't know, for example, what is the journey of an accountant or a lawyer or an artist. Maybe if I knew that, I would have been a good artist, lawyer, or accountant. So the thing is, we need to do a very good research and make sure that
that's true. So doing a very good research, it's one of the ways to succeed in the professional life, which is good. The other way, and it should be always like this, is connecting with that job. And the way to connect comes from within. And that's why discovering that seed is very important, to be able to connect with something. So for example, as I said before, when somebody does the genius process, and they identify, okay, I do like organizing, I do like leading, I do like making things tidy in a very structured way. Okay, maybe when getting into the workplace will be a very good leader, managing different schedules or plannings or maybe targets, because for the person it's easy to be working with this. So it's not only the profession, it's not only the job description, it's also connecting that with your inner features from your personality. Because if you connect that with your personality, you will be able to do the job in a very good way. So that's why connecting the inside when finding or applying for jobs is also very important.
That's also very interesting, because it comes like if you look at it the other way around too, same job with the same job description, if you put two people in that role, they will do things differently, because everybody find their own passion and how what's their strength, what's their weaknesses, and
exactly
they find the best way to
I do have
deliver that task.
Engineers who studied engineering, both of them. Then one of them got a job in a very nice company, and their job was to be sitting at a computer and doing a lot of programming on the computer. If was skilled to do that, the person didn't connect.
Yeah.
And after assessing many things, we discovered that the person was feeling trapped in an office, working behind a computer. The person needed space, needed to be in the outdoors. So the person, yes, is an engineer, but connecting with the genius was not meant to be indoors. So the person decided to be applying for jobs as an engineer, right? But in the field, for example, volume area that is outdoors, right? Or maybe in mining, or maybe supervising projects outdoors, right? And when the person was doing the job outdoors, was feeling connected. So that's why, even though two people study engineering, they work the same way, because it all depends on the way they are on the inside. Yeah. Feeling trapped or feeling overwhelmed by the workplace, it's also assigned to understand if we are making the right choice. So when assessing a job position, it's important to ask very important questions. What is going to be my workplace? Can I work from home times? Am I going to be dealing with a lot of numbers? Am I going to be having support? Am I going to be having the chance to make my own decisions as well? Because when the person makes decisions, for example, that's another barrier for the person, because the person wants a bit of freedom to be able to make decisions within the workplace to do the job. So many.
That's exactly one of the reasons I changed my previous role to my new one, to having a decision-making authority. And this is what I'm enjoying at the new job as well, because
so you see,
I can make decisions.
Doesn't need to be related to the job description, right? Because in the end, the job description was designed for whoever wants to apply. But when the person does a very thorough assessment about themselves, and they discover, hey, I really love making decisions, or I really love working outdoors, or I really love flexibility. When the person identifies those variables aligned to their genius, will be easier to do the job. That's why it's important, again, to do a very thorough assessments of the inside to be able to make a right choice when finding a job.
How do we know ourselves better? What are some practices to find out
many of them, right?
What you're good at?
Many of them, because in the end, everybody's different. The best way that I recommend to start improving that self-awareness is, for example, meditation. When a person starts a process of meditation, the person will be able to connect with the insight. So doing meditations, either guided sessions or using an app with meditation lessons, or even attending a meditation room with other people to be guided by a tutor will be ideal. So doing meditations, it's the first way, because we can improve self-awareness through doing meditations. The second is to be having a mentor, a coach, a support. Many people do like to be talking to someone. So when talking to someone, the person that is the mentor will be able to assess the client's needs and understand, okay, this is passing through this person. I can give you this recommendation, or we can work together on this, right? So having a mentor is the second recommendation that I give. The other recommendation that I provide is that it's important to understand the way we were when we were kids. So try to talk to your parents, to your brothers, the things you liked when you were a kid. And your mom will tell you many things about your childhood, even your dad. And you will be able to identify, oh, I did this when I was a kid and was very fluent about this. For example, I was very good networker because I was having so many friends. Or I was very good at sports because I was playing soccer all the time with my teammates. Or I was very good at school with numbers. So that will give you a clue of the way of your genius. So asking questions to your parents about your childhood is the third recommendation. And the fourth recommendation is, following important, Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts or even podcasts that are specialized on these certain topics. Because when you follow accounts that are aligned to what you like, you will find also answers. For example, if some people want to become a good influencer, might be following you because you've done a very good job with this. If somebody tries with, for example, good pictures or traveling, might start following a person who is very good at posting pictures about travels, right? Or if a person is really connected with sports because really enjoys sports, might be following some people who are making the living out of playing sports. So it's all about trying to connect with people, like-minded people, according to your desires. So this will...
One of my friends actually was saying it in a very nice way. He was saying, putting
That's a good
yourself
one.
in the right
And
frequency.
the right frequency means, of course, a bunch of things. When you do meditation, when you are with the right people, when you ask the right questions to your parents, or teammates, you might start vibrating with the right frequency. And that's a very good clue to be able to find that genius as well.
Perfect. And I think throughout this journey, we all have to be very aware of all the red flags of the journey as well. Like if you're seeing some toxic people around you who are distracting you from focusing on yourself, finding your right direction, being better version of yourself every single day, try to eliminate the amount of distractions as much as possible. If you're following a page that is like just wasting your time with something that is not doesn't have any added value, or if you're watching a series who you feel like, oh, this is just a whole complete waste of time, just eliminate it and spend more time to find your true self and find your
to the beginning of the conversation, Nadia, that I said, when you find obstacles, right, it's not the right way. I mean, you're going against your nature, your genius. And when you set red flags, it's part of those obstacles that we just come up in life, right? So, for example, toxic people who don't really support you on your journey, or even work colleagues that don't really help you with the with the task, or even circumstances that you have to face in order to understand if you were doing the right thing or not. So when you identify red flags, that's a sign that maybe you are not going the right direction. So life always gives you the signs. All about being able to read those signs as red flags and say, okay, I was doing this, now I'll do this, right? So reading the signs, it's also a clue for you to understand if you're going in the right direction.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alejandro. It was such a useful topic, and I think you give us a lot of clue to think about it for a few days and just try to digest the whole conversation. and practice more on ourselves to find the right genius and right direction, and what's our passion in life, what we are good at, to eventually step into the right direction, hopefully.
Nadia, thank you very much for this invitation. And I would say we're both connected on finding, you know, this direction, because in the end, we ourselves, we are migrants, but we decided to come into this country to find our way, and we are on the right way, which is great. And I would say, Nadia, we do like to help people find the right direction as well. Everybody's different. And in the end, when you find your genius, even though you like watermelons, you might be planting mangoes, because in the end, yeah, it's good, but your best fruit is mango. So helping people to find the right direction, it's something that I really like, because in the end, when you feel that you are doing something for others, the reward is even better. So yeah, Nadia, I think we're doing our own job, and when we can help others to find their own direction, it's also a very nice reward.
Perfect. I'll highly recommend that all my followers to go and follow your page and use this professional advice and help. Having a life coach such as yourself, it's gonna be definitely a boost to our
Nadia, thank you very much. And yes, you're right.
To where we want to be.
Sometimes having a mentor will be ideal, because in the end, we all need support, we all need help, and sometimes we are very good at something, but we need help with other things. So I'm very happy to, of course, have a chat with some of your followers. If you want to maybe start a conversation, to maybe assess part of your current circumstances, I will be more than happy to have that chat. And again, Naya, thank you very much, because I think you are doing a great thing with these live sessions, because impacting others in a very positive way, it's something that really makes me happy, and thank you for that.
That's my mango. And it's very rewarding. Thank you, Alejandro. Have a lovely night, and thank you everybody to be in this live. This live is going to be saved. If you missed the beginning of it, you can watch it later on, and please share your own experience under this post about how did you find your life direction, what were your challenges.
Thank you. Have a good night as well,
Nadia,
and see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye. Bye. Bye, everyone.